Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, welcome back to Pre-Market Watch List. And boy, oh boy, do we have things to talk about. No, not really. It's just the typical same old. But we will get into that here in just a second. So today, we are going to be discussing pretty much where you're going to be looking to counter trend dip by AMC sizzle. All right? So we will hop on over to that chart here in just a second, and then we'll get going. So it's not looking good, folks. It's not looking good, but that's okay. I'm here to calm you down. Okay, I'm here to calm your nerves. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do, okay, is you're going to sell your car. You're going to liquidate your 401ks. And you're going to dump it all back into AMC, okay? And then if that ends up failing, you're going to end up selling your house, all right? And then maybe having to do a refinance sort of deal. And then you're going to dump that back in. And then that keeps going down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing else to tell you. So, but long story short, let's get into this. All right, so AMC sizzle, it's going down. The world's burning. Everyone's freaking out. No one knows what to do. That's okay. We're here to help. So the market will probably continue to stay bearish on AMC for this time being. We will most likely see the price of AMC decrease all the way down to the price of $44 or $43.95 to $42.38. And that's where you're going to want to buy AMC. That's pretty much it. So if you're someone who wants to be short bias, your short target right now is down to 44 to 42.30, which you can't even really short the stock now. I don't even think I can short the stock anymore, which figures, right? Now when it's actually good to short because it's coming down, you can't actually short it, right? Right, that makes sense, right? Now that it's a good short, you can't short figures. So anyways, going forward, if you want to be bullish, you need to be bullish off a support level, which doesn't exist down until 44 to, again, 42.30. So, in other words, that's pretty much the analysis for AMC. There's really nothing more to tell. There's nothing more to say. That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah. So, pretty much just bearish AMC. Won't really be bullish until we get to 44. Or $42. So again, that's it. There's your buy zone for the day. And or tomorrow. Or after hours today. Or pre-market tomorrow. That's the buy zone. 5 minutes late. I'm sorry. I had to make a new thumbnail. So, ideally, this is where a strong support's at. We would like to see AMC down there for a dip buy because that would be a low-risk dip buy. In the event it doesn't go down there, then it becomes a matter of whomever's buying the market before support being able to bring it back up and above $49.80. So there's really no way that you're going to shift this downtrend momentum fully back to the upside until you get over 49.70. Otherwise, you have a counter trend reversal long bounce at the green box. Okay, that's pretty much all we had to talk about there. Alrighty. So next thing we'll talk about is Clove. Clove is something that we're going to be continuing to watch. Hold on, I got to add something to my chart here. All right, something that we're going to be doing is following Clove on the long side today. So it's really just looking for continued momentum. It may or may not work. We'll see. In the immediate, we're looking for Clove to stay over this orange line, which is a price of $10.55. If we start to come down below $10.55 successfully, then we're going to see some more bearish movement in the immediate, which would probably take us down to $10.44, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really matter. But we're going to follow Clove a little bit on the long side today. And really the reason is because these two red lines down here, this was your dip buy location from yesterday. So the same analysis that I just gave you on AMC is really the same thing that I did yesterday with Clove, saying this was the recommended buy zone. You'll see that we sold off down into this area, we bounced, came back to it, traded under it today. We bull flagged you can see the bull flag there too, right? You see that little bull flag in there? Pre-market, breaks over the top of the green zone, snaps up. So we're hoping that there is continued bullish momentum on Clove today since it's been selling off for so long, and we get more of a bounce than just this. Now, if we do get continued momentum, then we would be looking for a price target of this red line up here. So this would be your desired selling zone on the long move up with Clove today. So optimistic Clove can go as high as 1145. The support for the day is right now at, like, bigger support would be 1025 to 1009. Immediate intraday shift point support is at 1055. So this is the shifting support, right? So whichever way the market makers shift the momentum, it can happen through this point. So either we stay above, market open, blah, 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 squeeze out, or shifts back below. Anybody buying long this morning, long in this move, stops out to take their profit, probably bringing the stock closer back down towards the support. Okay, so that's something we're going to keep an eye on. Next thing we'll talk about is Dtst, just really quickly. So Dtst is something that I looked at this morning, decided not to trade. Every time it pops, it ends up dropping, pop, drop, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, right now you are currently in resistance. So this is the current resistance of the market on Dtst, okay? This is your current support for the day on Dtst, okay? Done that, all right. Then your current desired price target on the long move, if you successfully break through the red box resistance, is going to be to here. So we'll mark this one in sort of a bright yellow, like it's the gold level. So the bright yellow will be your target once you break the resistance. Your current support on the day is the red line. For the time being, we wouldn't really suggest you trying to trade Dtst any higher than $14.85 to $16. Only because the stock is trading upwards from yesterday until today with no news. So therefore, it's a stock running on no news, kind of like, eh. So anyways, you're in the resistance of the market. Therefore, it's 8:42 a.m. If it stays like this or in this price level until market open, you're going to be opening at market right in resistance. So you're going to have to play it based on your feel, whether or not this is truly breaking, okay? Because it's not like you're buying this while it's moving from to. You'd be buying this trying to get it to break out of, then go to, as opposed to it already breaking out, buying somewhere up here, and then trying to ride it to. So you're not jumping on trend right now. You're trying to break it out and create a new trend to the yellow zone. Okay? Woo! Yeah, it would only really be an intraday move. Yes, only be an intraday move on Clove, okay? The next one we will talk about is Dare, okay? All right, so Dare was something that we watched this morning. I had first seen Dare like back here, and then by the time I got around to like looking at it again, we had started breaking up to here, and then we ended up taking a small long from the like 1040 prices, traded up towards like the 1060s and closed out. And so it wasn't a fantastic trade in relation to it being a big trade, a big winner, a big trending move that we caught. But it was a good trade in the sense that we had recommended that this was going to be the selling zone of the market on Dare today from 242 to 260, at least pre-market. So when we got up to 240 this morning, we said the high of the selling zone is up to 266. All right, and we ended up getting up to a high of 264. So there was a good understanding when we got to 240 on Dare this morning, we could see a high of 266. So when we got to 240, we were still buying it, trying to push it up to the 260, but selling into the 260s. So when I go to the longer term chart, you will see that we have this green line. That's actually kind of off a little bit now, but we have this green line like right there. I'm just going to redo all this really quickly. 1 second. And then I'm going to take a look at a lot of the stocks you guys are talking about. So we got this green line here. Boom. Switch it up to the 4 hour. You're going to see this green line here. Boom. So you'll see that when we go over and switch to this 1 minute, that's where the selling target was. So this was a desired selling target. So on Dare today, you kind of already hit a good selling point. I don't know if the momentum is going to continue back up, but if the momentum is going to continue back up, generally that would happen after people try to sell the stock down. So now that the stock is selling down, it's more or less us trying to find a location where the market would try to support itself, so that anybody who is selling the stock short or just selling it in general can get squeezed out, and so to speak. So as the stock Dare is starting to sell back down, we have to see where would the support levels be. I would say support levels will probably be down at $2.18 to $2 and maybe 20 cents, with a potential shift point at 240, which we already are below. So there's that. So look at that. Ready? So remember how we just went to the 4 hour chart here? I said we're going to have support at this yellow line, and then we're also going to have support at, this yellow line on the daily chart. So I'm really just going to the daily chart, taking these long-term trends, saying this, we're going to have support. Watch what happens when we go back to the 1 minute chart. When we go back to the 1 minute chart, those two lines that I told you are support was the previous pre-market high, and it was the consolidation in the cup and handle before breaking out, right? And so I wasn't even looking at the stock to figure out where the pre-market high today was, where the cup and handle formation kind of little hold and breakout was. I was just going back, looking at the long-term trends and saying that's where it's at, because that's typically where stocks will trade to, and that's why the pre-market high is there, and that's why the consolidation, the breakout happened, was because these red lines are there. So your support on the day is going to be down at 220 to 217. So again, Dare moves down to these levels and starts to hold. That's where you're going to look for that dip buy to reverse into like a breakout U-shaped formation. All right, and then that would also be like your stop out level if it fails big. Okay. Yeah, Clove just a minute ago. So yeah, if you look at Clove, I'll show you. So remember just a second ago we said if Clove is going to keep moving kind of in the immediate, it's a matter of staying above that orange line. So you will see that we broke below that orange line, and then we came back up to retest it as resistance. So for right now, the market is trying to stay below, right? We're down. It's retesting to see if this is a valid break to the downside. So if this is a valid break on the downside with Clove, the market should not be coming back up over this price of 1055. If we start to go back up over the price of 1055 and holding, then we might suggest that this is kind of a false breakdown and the market still has opportunity to continue moving higher. And again, that price target's going to be all the way up there. Okay, cool. Awesome. Sounds dandy. Alrighty, I'm going to go from like the top up, and we're going to start running through some of the tickers you guys mentioned. AMD 100. So I got to say, AMD's been crushing it. It has gone exceptionally farther than the price targets we had suggested a couple weeks back. So a couple weeks back, our at-most long target for you guys was to a high of 87. Well, we're all the way up to 94. So how about that price target? So again, we told you to be watching this long, but not expecting it to go much higher than 87 for the time being. Now, that was back when. Obviously, if we come back and you'd ask me again, I'd be like, yeah, of course this can go higher now. But in the meantime, at the time, we'd only suggested 87 or 88. So anyways, AMD to 100. AMD, you saying AMD to 100 is possible, but that's like the at most for the time being, because you can see this blue line is priced at 99.67. So right now you should be saying price target or AMD to 99.67 and not 100, because 100 theoretically isn't in the realm of possibility. It is, but you would just say 99.63 is really the price target. So almost 100, yes. But that's the at most, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean it's going there. It just means if it goes there, then that's totally normal. But going above 99.63 is kind of like, meh, slow down. So anyways, optimistically still bullish on this, but the way that we would typically look at this is that this is the selling zone, right? So, you know, if you were to like color code this map, it would go like this. So like this would be bright green for very low risk buying, right? This then would be like go up a little bit more to here. We would change this to like a little less bright green. So that would be like a little, still a good buy, but not quite as good as the bright green. And that's really not even, that's kind of still too close. Let's do like that. All right, and then here would be like yellow because it's like some decent buy, you know, and then right here would be white because that's just like completely neutral. Then as you get up to here, this would be like kind of a deeper orange because you're kind of starting to get high priced. And then up here would be like, I mean, hold on. Yeah, up here would be red, pink because it's bad but not terrible, but kind of bad and terrible. Then up here would be your bright red because you'd be getting very, very high. Okay, so that's the way you can visualize that from a color code perspective, right? And then when you look back at the stock and you're like, oh, well, I guess when we are like way down here towards the green, we do end up bouncing. And when we get up towards the yellow, we kind of still go higher. But when we get to the white and the orange, we do kind of start to go down. So as AMD gets up into this blue level, you're kind of getting into the really high swing side of that move, which would generally be the selling side. Okay. Wow, I can delete those now. I don't need all those. All right. Can we go over QS? Surely. Temple. QS. So yeah, QS still just kind of staying sideways. Doesn't really look like it has a whole lot of momentum. I would say it's going to stay trading sideways to downwards for the time being. I just don't see the momentum on the upside yet. FXI is a dip buy right now, more or less. Yeah, if you're looking at FXI, you'd be more on the long side right now. So you'd be looking to buy this and swing this up to the upside right now. You might have price targets of $45 to $45.70. Abel does Thule. Yes, there is a scanner. The scanner is online on YouTube right now. If a stock opens above its opening price, a stock can't if a stock closes above its opening price. Is that a sign of continuation of an uptrend or vice versa? No, it's not. If a stock closes below its opening price for the day, that does not necessarily mean bullish or bearish. No. What is the best way to maximize profit of entry and re-entry? So the best way to maximize profit on entry and re-entry is to make sure you're buying the absolute lowest point of the move. Literally. I know that sounds like I'm a jackass, but that is the best way to maximize profit. Buying the absolute low and selling the absolute high. How you go about doing that? Find support and resistance. How do you go about finding support and resistance? Well, there's a million ways to do it. I'll leave that one up to you to decide. But for me, it's using standard deviation. Maximize profits, buy the best points, sell at the best point. How you do that is determining good support levels, good resistance, good trending targets. How you do that, find out how to figure out support and resistance. How do you do that? You could look at a chart, you could use an indicator, standard deviation, multiple different ways to do it. Boiler, why does the Fed buy mortgage-backed securities? Because they help support the market. I mean, it's pretty much it. It's just another way of them helping stimulate the world is really just it. In short term. What goes into it is more than that, but that's the main objective of doing that. Hi, I just finished working. What's up with AMC selling off in pre-market? Well, from a simple kind of, I guess, approach, AMC has been overbought for a long time. So selling down is completely normal. And I think it's just trading the way it normally should trade. And at this point, I think it's, I'm seeing it do what stops typically do. Wait, where's AMC? Did AMC gap down? How did that didn't even make sense. Wait, what? That was I'm like, whoa, hold on. I just looked at AMC, look at this. I looked at the daily chart on AMC and I saw this green candle down there in my red zone, buying zone. I'm like, when did it go to that? When did that happen? But it was really just from me putting that green box on my chart, and it made me think that the price went down there. Man, funny. But anyways, we're looking for AMC to go lower to a better buy zone, ideally. Bro, this is AMD. Aren't you talking about AMC, Elon Musk? Well, we already talked about AMC at the beginning of the day. So we can cover it again, but it's really quick, and that's why we already stopped. So it doesn't normally take us very long to do any analysis on a stock. So like when we go over AMC or GameStop, it's pretty straightforward. We just give you the price targets these things are normally going to go to, and that's it. So AMC, green box, that's where you buy. If it doesn't go there, you don't buy unless it gets back up and over 49.80. So better way of saying is, as the price of AMC today is below 49.80, the bearish traders still have control of the market. The bounce/reversal counter trend location is going to be 44 to 42.30. Shifting momentum trend change exists at 49. So bears in control unless they're back over basically 50. And then bulls will try to take back or put in some defense at the 44 to 42. Yeah, we can break down Tesla. So yeah, that's another good one because this is something I've been hoping would go, well, I hoped it was going to go to 715. That may have changed. So the price target on the upside max now would be 713.91, which we're not even really trying to get to anymore because we snapped just the other day. So now it's no longer looking for this to flag out and pop to. Now it's more of we're in dip buy support, and now we're looking for the markets to sustain and then trend back up. So I don't know if we mentioned it yesterday. I don't think we did. But the recommended dip buy zone for Tesla yesterday was these green levels. So pretty much we're on the long side of Tesla today. We're expecting we're going to see a long move, maybe even back up to the price of 670 we'd want to get back to 666 and over, but it doesn't matter. So the dip buy zone of Tesla yesterday was down in these red lines. And if I could explain that, it just means that Tesla has pulled back from its resistance, which started at 700, pulled back down its support, which existed down here at 652 to 650. Oh, it's a gap fill. Yeah, makes sense. So yeah, that's the support. You can see we came down and bounced that dotted line yesterday. So support on the Tesla market is at 650. So that's pretty much it. So you kind of already missed the lowest risk entry dip buy to be long Tesla from this sell-off for the time being. So with Tesla, again, we're kind of optimistically on the long side only because we came into support here yesterday and started bouncing. So the same analysis that I gave here on Tesla is really the same thing with AMC. AMC is selling down, right? AMC is selling down. Our desired buy point is right here. Same thing with Tesla. Yesterday, Tesla started selling down. The desired buy point was right here. The same thing with Clove. Clove started selling down yesterday. The desired buy point was right here. So in Clove is a better representation of what Tesla did, right? Clove, big, harsh down day into support, doesn't really bounce very good throughout the day, gaps up overnight. Go look at Tesla. Tesla sells down all day into the buy zone, doesn't really come back too aggressively, gaps up overnight. So current support for Tesla is down here at 657, and our current long target is maybe back up to like 670 for right now. Sheesh. Let's get it, dude. When will the shorts start to cover? Samarth Rayo on AMC. So this is a great question because shorts have already been covering for a long time. What you're asking is really a big unknown because what you're asking is when are the short sellers going to cover, and the short sellers that you're referring to are the short sellers that everyone thinks is going to blow AMC up to like $1,000. So these are naked shorts. These are shorts that aren't on the books, but shorts that people think are on the books. See, it's kind of like you think you know, but you don't really truly know. So then you're kind of like, It's kind of like, is Jeffrey Epstein really dead or is he alive? We're just all assume he's alive and really didn't kill himself, but yet we don't really have the proof to show that he didn't actually kill himself because the people who could give us that proof don't give us that proof. So it's like, yeah, we assume that people are naked short selling, kind of like we assume that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, but we don't truly have all of the pieces there to prove that there is or isn't this amount of naked short selling going on and that it could cause the price to go to this. So that's the issue. But in reality, what we already do know for sure is that short sellers have been covering for a long time. And what I mean by that is when AMC was down here and it went up like this, I mean, do you think none of that was a short squeeze? So there's already been a short squeeze. You're just trying to continue squeezing more people and anybody who started shorting this top. So again, the way the market works is when markets get to an overbought location, people enter short. Then when they come back down to a buying location, short sellers exit, okay? And then other people buy back. So back when AMC was trading at 20, it was extremely overbought. People shorted. It traded sideways, and then the market squeezed. The market got back to extremely overbought. We haven't squeezed since the market got overbought. Once it squeezed up, this was the squeeze. We're way overbought, and we've pulled back. Same thing we did here. So it doesn't, I personally, I think it needs more time now. It needs more time to set up. We got to come down. We got to double bottom here on this support. We got to come back up. So pretty much now we should be looking bearish down to these levels before really trying to be bullish. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but I do have to run. I appreciate you guys tuning in. But for those of you that came in later, if you didn't already get the news, AMC, we're bearish down to 44 to 42. That's where we would look to be bullish on the day. Everybody, have a great day. I'll see you in the next